Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to talk about the Remette RTB. And I believe this is actually, let me get you the exact number on this bad boy. The RTB/G knife, made in China. It comes in this cardboard box. Comes with a little case, and you get a cloth in there as well, and then the knife is in a nice little plastic baggie. Remette logo on there. So pretty good for a knife in 14C 28N steel, G10 scales, proud liners. And this knife right now is $59.99, and you can use my discount code LeftyEDC, and that'll actually take another 5% off, which is like $250. So you can get it for like 57 bucks on Remette's website. Link is down in the description. This is, I'll say it right now, this is by far the best $59 knife I have ever handled in my life. And I've handled some really good budget knives, but the way this knife feels is unbelievable. It feels way more premium than $59. I actually had you can check it out, I'll link it somewhere along the way, but I had the titanium frame lock version of this knife in, and I loved that thing too. The price point on that was really good. It was like $200. Again, you can use my discount code LeftyEDC on anything on their website. But that knife was a steal, I think, in M390, I believe, and titanium. Really nice frame lock. Pretty sure that one had a milled clip. It also has this titanium toothpick built into the knife, which is really cool if you think about it. And they kept that for this budget version, which I think is really nice. The only thing I don't like about it is it makes it where you can't reverse the clip. But, it'd be cool if somehow they could make it where you can pop this out and then the clip slides into that, and then you lock down the screws or something, and then this could be reversible. That'd be pretty dope, but that would take some engineering. Just thought it would be cool. You got some speed holes here along the top of the frame. And I'm not a big speed hole guy, but if they're going to be on a knife, I like these really small ones like that. I like how they get smaller and smaller. It's really cool. You have a finger choil on here, which is fantastic. That's one thing I loved about the frame lock version. It kind of gives it a F5.5 kind of feel, right? You got a choil, and then you got a smaller knife, great ergonomics, and you have a little sheep's foot blade for great utility cuts, opening packages, stuff like that, things I do a lot. You have a really good flipper tab on here with some jimping, and it's got a good angle on it to where it really pops out of there. Then you have thumb studs, and the detent is spot on for all three of those, which is rare. It is rare to find a knife like this where they nail the detent and it has a flipper and studs. That's very unusual, but it is literally perfect for me on this example. The centering might be slightly off to this side. Now, I haven't messed with it at all. It is rock solid, so it's possible it just got over tightened a touch at the factory. But I didn't even think to mess with it, because look at this action. It's bananas. This is a $60 knife. And yes, I know there's knives in this price point that drop shut or whatever. But this isn't, I'm not trying to show you that it's dropping shut. And I can't show you what I'm feeling. But what I'm feeling is ultra smoothness. I'm feeling really good bearings. Like, there's none of that just weird bearing feel that you get on budget knives sometimes. There's none of that janky feel that you get on budget knives sometimes, even knives way more expensive than this. It feels so well put together in all aspects. It's just really impressive, guys. It has proud liners, but I gotta tell you, it to me has the best proud liners I've ever seen on a knife. It just feels premium. I don't know if it like somehow gives it a ultra, like almost a custom look because of that, but it's so well dialed in that it just, I don't know, it's a weird feeling. But there's no stick on that lock bar. It works excellently. It is a steel liner lock, so those liners are steel, but it weighs. It doesn't feel like it's steel. Like it just doesn't weigh a lot. You know, it's probably 3.5 ounces or something, which is perfectly fine for a, 3-inch blade, which is probably what this is. Let us see. We are at 3.1 really when you get to the frame there. The cutting edge is 2.9. So pretty much what I was thinking there. Overall length. So you have 3.1 and then 3.9-ish. So what's that? 7 inches overall. Basically perfect. That's what she said. Yeah, very good left-handed too. I can just disengage it easy. I can get to the flipper tab easy. That's why I kind of like this one better than the frame lock, just because as a lefty, I can manipulate it better. I don't have to worry about that frame lock. I can reverse flick it left-handed like a dream. So that's really cool. It does have a budget clip on it, loop over clip, but they did a good job where it looks nice, It is a bead blasted finish on the blade, which is not my favorite, but it is 14C, 28N, so corrosion resistance is there. And I'd rather see it than a machine satin because 14C scratches pretty easy. So I'd rather have something than a belt satin. I'm not too worried about corrosion on this, where if it was like M390, I'd be like, damn, the bead blast sucks. I don't actually have a problem with the look of a bead blasted blade. I actually think a bead blasted blade, a bead blasted blade looks good, to be honest. That gray look is fantastic. But usually when I see it, it's on M390. And then I know it's going to rust instantly if I carry this in my pocket and sweat at all. So that's why I just don't like it. But on 14C, I mean, it's fine, actually. If you're going to go with a basic finish, which to me is machine satin, stonewash, or bead blast. Those are your basic options. Or I guess a black wash with PVD. Those are your basic options that don't cost more, right? If you're having a knife made, or I'm guessing if you're the OEM, it's the same thing. It doesn't cost more to do those finishes versus a hand satin, a belt satin, right? Something like that. A blast and tumble even might cost more, although I guess it doesn't. It's just 2 of those processes put together, but it's something they can do in-house easy enough. So anyway, it looks good, and it matches the proud liners, matches the clip, which I think looks really good. And then you have the satin hardware that looks good. T8 down here, T8 right here, T8 on the clip screws, looks like. You can check it. Yeah, T8. I mean, they're listening, guys. They're listening. You can't remove the studs with a T8. So those are mounted with, Loctite. Maybe they have a tool, or they use a, like an oil filter wrench kind of thing, where it's just like rubber or whatever that really grips it and lets them loosen it. Clicks close. I mean, listen to it. No thud, no nothing. Just perfect click. Beautiful look from all angles. It's contoured, which is also really comfortable on this. There's a lot here, guys, for $60. If you're on a budget and you're looking, or you've been looking to get a really nice knife, but you haven't pulled the trigger yet because you're just not sure. There's so many budget options, right? I could, right now, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to, embarrass anybody, but I could grab 5, 6, 7, 10 knives that are in this price range, and none of them come close to this. As much as I love some of those brands, and some of those knives are fantastic for $60, this thing destroys all of them. It just has an X factor that I can't, it's hard to explain. Handling it, you just feel how quality this is, because they made a premium version of this knife first, and then they were like, we should make a more affordable one. Let's go off of that baseline, which is a really good quality built knife, and we're just gonna take the materials, bring it down a little bit, but we're gonna keep the quality of the build there, right? So the other thing is, I haven't handled Remette's budget stuff. I don't know if they have other budget stuff. I know they started with like a real budget knife. It was like $30 or something. So I don't know if that one, if that one's got the quality of this, that would be insane. But so some of you guys may have handled a bunch of their stuff and you're used to it. This is my first time, and I'm like, God damn, it's just so good. I also love the blade shape. I love the choil. This is definitely a knife for me. If you guys have followed the channel, I love choils. I love sheep's foot blades. Usually I'm a whole guy over the studs, but man, and then that flipper tab just, bam! It's so good. So I think you get the point. I love it. I love it. It's almost so thick in there in a good way, she said. It's almost like a subframe lock. Like, look at that liner, dude. It's got an internal relief cut and everything. And it doesn't feel thick either. It's wild, man. It's probably like half an inch, but that's not super thick. That's average, I think. For me, that's kind of the top of the line, but it's contoured. So that fixes that problem, really. Feels so good. It's a great knife, guys. But I think I've made that point here, and I'll shut up now. So shout out to Remette. Thank you to them for sending this along. I really appreciate it. And again, go check out their website. The link is down below. They also sell on Amazon. So I will put the link to this on Amazon. I'm sure they wouldn't mind me sharing that as well. But if you buy it from their website, it does help me out a little bit, more than Amazon, because Amazon doesn't give you shit. And you can get the 5% off if you go to their website. Use the code LeftyEDC. But you guys do whatever you want. Use whoever's code you want. That doesn't matter. What matters is this knife is baller. If you're into budget knives, you should own this knife. That's plain and simple. If you're like, I'm past budget knives, I don't buy them at all, then I get it. Totally understand. But if you delve in budget knives at all, you really should try this one, because it's the top of the heap. This thing beats the Miguron Moyarl that was killing it for so long, but that was proud liners, but that was flat scales, right? That was 14C, but their 14C has been called out as questionable on that knife. And that's a great knife. I'm not even trying to argue that it's not. It was the best knife at $50, right? And that was 50, this is 60, but it's $10. But this blows it out of the water. It just feels like something else. Custom. A high-end, handmade custom in a sense, but with the precision of CNC, right? And that's something special when you see that, I think. So That's it, guys. I'm going to shut up. I love you. I'm really digging Remette. They're absolutely killing it. Check out their other knives. I've reviewed the Peregrine Falcon, and I reviewed the RT Swordfish, a really cool gravity knife. My favorite gravity knife out of the ones that have come out in the last couple of years. You can reverse it to lefty, which is awesome. I told them they should come up with a lock system with that button, and they said they'd look into it. The company is community focused. You know, they've gone out and asked people in the community like me and others to have their steels heat treated or HRC tested so they could get those results and so they could try to improve their heat treats. Like stuff like that to me is the sign of a company that is listening, that wants to better itself for the community. And yeah, they want to sell knives. Of course, that's their goal. But they also care what we think. And I think that's important. So I love you. I hope you have a great day. And if you pick one of these up or you have one, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with me? Is this the best $60 knife on the market? Because that's where I'm at. I love you. Hope you have a great day. And I'll catch you later. Peace. Hey guys, Kev here. And we're going to do a disassembly skiff bearing swap, hopefully, of the Remette RTB/G, the best budget knife, or the best knife at the $60 price point. That is what I think, my opinion, so it's true to me. I was going to say, that is true. But then I'll get the people who are like, no, the best budget knife ever is the Elemental. Or the Rat 1. Anyway, I'm going to take it apart. Just want to see what's inside of this bag, boy. Maybe put some skifferoonies in here. My one gripe on this knife when I did the review just a minute ago is the centering is slightly off to the clip side. I have not messed with it. So let the games begin. Let me just loosen that and see. Okay, so now it's past center. Let's see. That's dead nuts. Little bit of play, but I mean, it is just barely. Wow, look at that. Joink. Just barely. So let's see. Maybe the skiffs will do it, or maybe just tweaking it would have done it, but we'll see. We'll get the pivot out of there. There's a T8 down here as well. Barrel situation through there, through the back spacer, which is also G10, looks like. You have the clip mounted here. We'll see if we need to remove that. Looks like we do. It's in the liner. Well, so we don't need to remove it yet. Or at all, right? Let's just leave it and see what happens. It's pretty late, so my brain ain't working. I think it's going to come off. Okay, so we have a pin down here. Looks like that's a lanyard pin. Nice. And you have your really nice liners here. It almost feels like a sub-frame lock. I mean, those are thick enough to basically be, yeah. Really nice. G10's really on there. I don't know if they glue it on or what, but it's on. Oh, we have the liner, or we have the clip screws on, obviously. So we're going to clean this. We're going to clean the blade. We're going to do all that stuff. Oh, nice bearings. Honestly, don't know if I need to change these. We got Teflon, I feel like, or like some kind of Delrin-ish. It's not Delrins, but something like that. Because this is made in China, not the US, where the Delrins come from. I'm going to flip these washers so you can see on this side, there's a little track there already from those bearings. So if I put skiffs in there, well, it's going to mess that up. So let's flip that over and put it down again. Let's see. Yeah, there's some oil in there already. So I'm going to take a little bit of alcohol. I do buy 91, I believe. Yeah, 91 isopropyl. I think I even have some 99. But then I pour it into this Walgreens sprayer. I bought this once. It's like $4, so you can just keep buying these. but I buy the big jugs. They're not huge. They're like, you know, a pint or a quart. And then I fill that back up. I love the spray one. It's just better in my opinion. So I think I linked all that down below. Ooh, that hurt. Ow, that hurt. I have a cut here apparently, and I am putting alcohol in it when I do that. So let's not do that. Just trying to clean up a little bit. That's usually what I do. Ow, that stinks like a son of a bitch. So just take a little Q-tippy guy right into the D10 hole. Gotta clean your hole. That's something very important. I'm a bidet guy. I don't know about you, but this time I'm going in dry. A little bit of cotton. All right. This washer needs to come out as well. We have the pivot securely attached to the barrel there. D shape. Now, don't love the full D. A lot of that's what she said here. I don't like a full D because the blade is riding on it, right? And the blade is not riding on a perfect circle. And I just don't think that makes the most sense. Now, in this case, the action's unbelievable and it really hasn't messed anything up. So, not a big deal here, but it can be. Flip that over. That one I think is gonna fall out, but we'll see. Yeah, you can see they do slide apart pretty easily there. Pivot in. D shape is on the other side, I guess. So yeah, don't love that. But if you can, let's see, which direction is it facing? I don't even see a D shape, to be honest. Let me clean this out a little bit here. There's like shit in here. I don't know if it's some kind of Loctite or lube or something, but. And then I'll take a little bit of lube. I'm gonna grab my little kit here. Let me move these over. If you guys are interested in any of this stuff, it's linked down below. I got the tray and this thing from Tinker Force. Link is down below. And then, obviously, you'll probably know a lot of the other stuff. Like this is from KPL, Knife Pivot Lube. You can pick that up on their website, knifepivotlube.com. Use my code, LeftyEDC, get 10% off. All the good stuff that I say a lot. Although I will say, I haven't seen a lot of activity with KPL in terms of you guys picking it up, using the code and whatnot. So I don't know if you guys are on to something else or whatever. I haven't talked to KPL in a while, actually, so I guess myself, I haven't really been all that into it, but I haven't tried a different oil or anything. I do have this crispy donut community oil. It's the donut oil. It's really cool. Made in the USA. So this is going to be a, I believe, 3/64th ball. It's very common these days. Yep, 3/64th ball, 5mm pivot. These are not bad. There's a decent amount of balls in there. The action was great, so there was no question of that. The only reason I'm going to swap them is to see if I can fix that centering with bearings. Sometimes that works. So let us see. This little tin is also from Tinker Force. Has a little patch Velcro on the front. And then you can put whatever you want in it. It has these dividers. I use it for skiffs. And you'll see they do look a little smaller, I think. But we get 15 ceramic balls here, where this one probably has 12 maybe. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 in there, 15 in here, and there's 2 of them. So that's 30 total, 20 total. So you're just getting a nice jump in the amount of balls that you're putting in there. You know what I mean? And a jump in balls is always good. And that is for sure what she said. So, yeah. It's definitely 1 a.m. over here. And I'm definitely a little nutty. So just ignore that. Blade is all cleaned up. We can drop that on the pivot. We'll put the bearing in there. Does not matter that the bearing is smaller than the pocket as long as it fits on the pivot. That's the important part. As long as it fits inside the pocket and it fits on the pivot, you're good. We did clean the lock bar, correct? Let me just make sure. Ow, keep touching that damn alcohol with my thumb. All right, take a little bit of KPL heavy, which reminds me, I need to get another one of these because this is starting to get annoying. Oh, now it's working easy. That's the one downside with KPL is, well, it's not really a downside. I mean, I've had those bottles forever. But after a while, the bottles usually go to shit. You don't run out because there's so much of it. The bottles just kind of crap out because, you know, they have air in them and whatever's going on with how they work. The original one and the ultralight, they'll leak. And they'll start just like, even when you're not squeezing it, you turn it upside down, it just leaks out. So annoying. And the heavy one doesn't want to dispense it easy, so you have to squeeze really hard, and then, well, you always use too much. But not the end of the world, just saying. All right, so it looks like the D shape is on the down there, but it's hard to tell, really. It's almost like maybe the D shape was on the other side and I just got lucky, but let's see what happens when I put it this way. It's 90% of the time the D shape is down. That's usually how it works. And I think part of that is because I guess the blade would ride less on it, but I guess it doesn't matter because it's a full circle. So it's no matter what, it's gonna. Yeah, I don't know. My brain is not ready for that right now. So let's just chill, Kev. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. We put the body screw in. Now, those bearings and those washers have to break in together. So we got to, you know, make that happen. And that was loose. So we'll see in a second here what it looks like when we tighten everything. All right, so we're slightly off to this side. So we should have a little bit of room here to tighten. Interesting. Okay, let's loosen this. Maybe that was the problem. Yeah. Now we're back to where we were. Solid. Yeah, I mean, it feels excellent. No play. Unbelievable action. Yeah, it's just slightly off. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it. It's the grind, probably. But, I mean, it's pretty slight there, guys. So let's get the old glue ski out. I just want to see how far I need to go. Tighten it. That feels pretty good. That's damn close. Okay. No play or anything. I could probably just go back and put the regular bearings back in, but I have come this far. And Skiff does sort of sponsor these disassemblies. They provide the bearings for me, which is awesome. And of course, I always like talking about these tools anyway. And they've never asked me to talk about anything. They just let me get bearings when I need them. And yeah, that's actually it. But this is the test fit card I showed you earlier. This is how you can figure out what size bearings you have. And then this is the finger bit that you can use to work on spinning pivots or barrels. Like in this case with this barrel, I can put this on this side like this. And then I lock my finger in here. Actually, I'm going to turn it one turn there. So I'll lock that down, and then I'll take my driver over here, and now I can tighten that down, make sure it's all tight, and I don't have to use two drivers like this or shove my finger in there. Just makes your life a little bit easier, I think. And sometimes you absolutely need it. So, super glue. I have a whole video explaining why I use it, because some people always wonder. Basically, it works like Loctite. I just use the tiniest little bit, and then I let that string get on there. It works just like Loctite, it's just faster. And we're slightly off. We have no play. We have great action. Yeah, it works like Loctite, thread locker, whatever. And it is easy to break. That's the one thing everybody worries about. It's super glue. Like it's gonna glue your knife shut. You're never gonna be able to open it. I don't recommend trying to open the knife in the next, hour. But once it totally cures, you literally just break it. And most of the time, you just get like a little disc that falls out. That, little disc, because you tightened it down, it kind of smushes the super glue down, and then that hardens. And then when you twist it laterally, it cracks, and it'll just fall out, or you just clean off the crumbs off of the threads. Now, if you put too much in there, just like with blue Loctite, it will screw up everything. Like you won't be able to get it loose. You'll strip your pivot screw out, right? But that's the same thing with blue Loctite. Then you got to heat it. Heat does work on glue too, for the most part. But as long as you use just a little tiny bit, it works like a charm. And then you don't have to wait 2 days. In my case, I always have to wait like 48 hours for it to cure all the way. With Loctite, you can pretty much use it right away. Like this is done already. It's cured. So I don't have to wait all that time before I can fidget with my knife again or carry my knife again, So that's why I like to use super glue. And I know it seems odd to some people, so I like to just give the little feedback on that. But you can, of course, check out my video on it if you're interested. So that is the disassembly, reassembly of the Remette RTB-G. And I really like it. I thank them for sending it out to me. I think I'll put it in the pass-around group. I do have the titanium one in there, but this one is different. And I honestly think this one's more special just because of the fact that it's $60 and it's made so well. I mean, it has that one flaw that it's just slightly off center. Whoops. But if this was a knife that I paid for, I could hit them up and they would, I'm guessing they would just swap it out for me. So I'm not worried about that. Plus, it's a $60 knife. You have a little off center. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I am very picky about that stuff, but I do have a little bit of common sense too. So feels so good, man. That click. So good. Yeah. So that's the RTB /G disassembly, reassembly, skiff bearing swap. They are 5mm 3/64 ball bearings, 15 balls. I'll put these in the little baggie and put them in the case so everybody knows that I swapped them. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, let me know. I love you. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.